So guys, Tesla has just reached a milestone with the Cybercab, and this one feels far more significant than it might appear at first glance. The company is moving ahead of the originally expected production timeline, and everything seems to be lining up almost perfectly according to plan. When you look at the broader picture, this isn't just another incremental update. It's a clear signal that Tesla's long-term autonomous transportation strategy is steadily taking shape. Several key pieces are already falling into place. The recently launched Robotaxi service is now being used daily by customers in pilot programs, giving Tesla valuable real-world data. At the same time, automated cleaning stations for the fleet are being finalized, showing that Tesla is thinking beyond just the vehicle and focusing on the full operational ecosystem. However, there is still one major piece of the puzzle that has everyone paying close attention: how these vehicles will be charged efficiently at scale. Traditional plug-in charging works well for personal EV ownership, but for a fully autonomous robotaxi fleet that operates nearly non-stop, Tesla clearly needs something more seamless and automated. This is where things start to get very interesting. Back in late 2023, Tesla quietly acquired a small, early-stage startup that specialized in wireless EV charging technology. At the time, the move didn't make huge headlines, but in hindsight, it looks like a very strategic step. The acquisition came just months after Tesla hinted at a wireless charging platform during its Investor Day presentation. During that event, eagle-eyed viewers noticed something unusual in one of the demonstration visuals. Tesla showed a vehicle positioned over what appeared to be a flat charging surface embedded directly into the floor. There were no visible cables and no charging port in use, just the car sitting perfectly aligned over a pad. One image in particular sparked a wave of speculation online. It showed a Model S Plaid parked neatly inside a garage. On the wall was a large connector unit, but beneath the vehicle there appeared to be a charging mat integrated into the floor. Tesla never explicitly confirmed what viewers were seeing at that moment, but the implication was hard to ignore. It strongly suggested that the company was experimenting with inductive wireless charging technology behind the scenes. It's not long after that Investor Day tease, Tesla's chief designer Franz von Holzhausen added more fuel to the fire. During an appearance on Jay Leno's Garage, he openly acknowledged that wireless charging was indeed in active development for future Tesla vehicles. While he didn't reveal specific timelines or product details, the confirmation itself was significant. Tesla rarely discusses features publicly until they are fairly confident in the technology. So this statement suggested the company had already made meaningful progress. As the months went on, even more evidence began to surface. One of the biggest clues came from a detailed Cybertruck teardown conducted by independent analysts. During the teardown, observers noticed unfamiliar connectors and hardware components that didn't match Tesla's existing charging architecture. Initially, there was confusion about what these parts were for, but when service documentation later became available, those mystery components were identified as inductive charging interfaces. In simple terms, the hardware needed for wireless charging appeared to already be built into the vehicle platform. That discovery was a big deal because it indicated Tesla wasn't just experimenting in the lab. They were quietly preparing their vehicles for future compatibility. It also aligned perfectly with the company's robotaxi ambitions. For a human-driven car, plugging in isn't a big inconvenience. But for a fully autonomous fleet operating around the clock, manual charging becomes a major bottleneck. Every minute a robotaxi spends waiting for a human to plug it in is lost revenue and reduced efficiency. Wireless charging solves that problem elegantly. A robotaxi could simply drive itself over a charging pad, align automatically, and begin charging without any human intervention. No cables, no robotic arms, no moving parts. A fleet management perspective, that kind of simplicity is incredibly powerful. It reduces maintenance, minimizes failure points, and allows vehicles to operate more continuously. By early 2024, Tesla's strategy was becoming clearer. The company appeared to be building three major pillars for its future autonomous network. First, the vehicles themselves, purpose-built for autonomy, with simplified interiors and no traditional driver controls. Second, the operational infrastructure, including automated cleaning systems and fleet management software. And third, the energy solution, which now increasingly looks like it could rely heavily on wireless, inductive charging. The timing also makes sense when you consider Tesla's broader philosophy. The company has always favored solutions that remove friction and simplify the user experience. Just as over-the-air software updates eliminated the need for many service visits, wireless charging could eliminate one of the last manual steps in EV ownership and fleet operation. There are, of course, technical challenges to overcome. Wireless charging typically has slightly lower efficiency compared to direct cable charging, and precise vehicle alignment is important for optimal performance. However, Tesla is uniquely positioned to tackle both issues. Its advanced vehicle positioning systems, cameras, and AI-driven autonomy stack. Achieving precise alignment over a charging pad is well within reach. In fact, autonomous vehicles may be better suited for wireless charging than human-driven ones, because software can consistently position the car perfectly every time. Efficiency losses are also becoming less of a concern as inductive charging. Technology improves. Newer systems are closing the gap with wired charging, and for a robotaxi fleet, the convenience and automation benefits may far outweigh a small efficiency trade-off, especially when you consider reduced labor costs, faster turnaround times, and improved fleet utilization. What makes this milestone particularly important is how all these pieces are now converging. The Cybercab program is progressing faster than many expected. The Robotaxi service is already being tested in real-world conditions. Automated cleaning infrastructure is nearing completion, and strong evidence suggests wireless charging capability is already being baked into Tesla's hardware roadmap. If Tesla successfully integrates all of these elements, the result could be one of the most vertically integrated autonomous transport systems ever built. Instead of just selling cars, Tesla would be operating a fully automated mobility network. Vehicles that drive themselves, clean themselves, and charge themselves with minimal human involvement. That level of automation has massive economic implications. Lower operating costs could make robotaxi rides dramatically cheaper than traditional ride-hailing services. Higher vehicle utilization could improve Tesla's margins and the convenience. Factor 4 users could accelerate adoption much faster than many analysts currently expect. Of course, timelines in the autonomous space have historically been unpredictable, and Tesla still has important hurdles to clear, particularly on the regulatory and full self-driving performance fronts. But from a hardware and infrastructure perspective, the progress is becoming harder to ignore. So while the headline milestone around the Cybercab might seem subtle on the surface, it actually represents something much bigger, required for a truly autonomous transportation network. And if wireless charging rolls out as expected, it could remove one of the final friction points standing in the way of a fully self-sustaining robotaxi fleet. The next 12 to 24 months will be especially important to watch. Wireless charging pads at scale alongside its robotaxi expansion. We could be witnessing the early stages of a major shift in how electric vehicles are powered and operated. And if history is any guide, Tesla tends to move very quickly once the pieces are in place.